Hi everyone. In this video I'm going to show you how I did a modification to this M37C Plus Suzuki Melodion. I put some guitar strap pins onto the end of the instrument so that I can play it in a more upright position, perhaps with two hands. So if you've got an instrument like this, this video might be useful, and I'll show you the kinds of equipment that I used and some of the sort of snags that I met along the way in doing that. Anyway, let's just have a look inside the instrument, inside the case. And this M37C comes with this 37 note keyboard with these blue ends, and then this nice kind of dark red, crimson red bottom case. And then you get the bendy mouthpiece like that, which goes inside the case. And then separately, I've also ordered a flexible mouthpiece hose and a short mouthpiece as well, but I ordered those separately. This keyboard just comes with this bendy one. So let's just move this to one side for a minute and just show you in a bit more detail what I've done. So on each end of the instrument, I've put these guitar strap pins. The next model up from this, which is the Pro model, comes with guitar strap pins already fitted, and then their much higher range of the wooden Melodion also comes with guitar strap pins, but this model doesn't. So I didn't want to spend too much money, so I wanted to do this modification myself and just add the pins on. And it means that when there's a guitar strap attached, it means I can play the keyboard in a more upright position with my right hand here, and perhaps even my left hand over the top of the keyboard as well. So let's first of all take a look at the kind of how to get into the keyboard. There are 3 screws on either end. There's side ones here, there's 2 on the bottom, and then another on the other side. So 3 on this end and 3 on this end. Now, I must admit, I struggled to get these screws loose to be able to take the ends off. And at first, I used a screwdriver, a crosshead screwdriver like this one, and it really wasn't going to move. Some of the screws were in very, very tight. So I would recommend getting a good precision screwdriver like this one. This has got very strong steel adapters. It comes with a selection of them. This is I think it's a Phillips head 00. They come with different numbers on, but that's the one that I found I was able to get into the instrument. So once you've got your screwdriver, it's just a case of opening up, loosening off each one in turn. And you can see they're quite small screws. Try not to scratch. Let's do this one next. And then once you've got all 3 screws out, then this cover will just slide out. Just gently bring it away from the keyboard. This is made of plastic, quite a strong plastic, and you can see the holes where the screws will go in, and when you put it back in, they should meet up with the holes on the main case itself. So we can take a look at this end piece, the mouthpiece end, and I put the guitar strap pin on this lower edge that's kind of angled over like this, and then on the inside the bolt that I used comes through, and then there's a screw sorry, there's a nut and a washer on this side, and then on this side there's a felt washer. I'm just protecting the instrument a little bit on this side. So this is what you'll need, is a couple of washers and a couple of nuts like those. I found that you don't get always a lot of room. This one on this end, the mouthpiece end, I used this longer bolt, this one here, which I think is 16 millimeters long, 16, and it comes through the other side, and there's still enough room inside the instrument. It doesn't touch anything inside. There's enough room down here on this recess here. The bolts that I used have like a star recess on them, and they come with this head that I can use on that. It doesn't really matter, I wouldn't think, what type of head you have on the bolt, as long as it's this sort of size. This is a 3 millimeter diameter, and this one was 16 millimeters long. Let me just take this one apart and then I'll show you. So at the moment it's all attached with the guitar strap pin, but if I undo it, you have to put your finger over the nut, otherwise that just keeps turning round. Okay, so there's the washer, there's the nut, there's the felt washer, and then here's the guitar pin itself, strap pin, and then this is the bolt. So put the bolt in, put the felt washer on, and then the hole that I drilled, I just used a 3 millimeter drill bit like this one at quite a slow speed. I made a little pilot hole just to make sure I was putting it in the right place first of all, and then drilled that through. I also scraped away some of any sort of bits of plastic that were coming away as well. Clean that up a bit, and then we can just feed that through that hole, and then put our washer on first, like that, and then we'll put the, whoops, a little bit fiddly, going onto there, give it a little turn 2 or 3 times, and then back with the screwdriver head. Just hold the nut on this side so it's not spinning round, tighten it up, and as it gets tighter it also squeezes against that felt washer, and that feels very secure, so I think that's going to be good. We'll put that back together in a minute. Let's do the other end. Again, the same thing. We've got 3 screws, 1 on the bottom, 2 on the sides, and we'll loosen these off. And again, just like the mouthpiece end, the water key end, you've got a water key on this end of the instrument. That will just come away like this. Just Gently pull it away. And again, inside you can see the nut and the washer, and then that on the other side you've got the guitar strap pin, the bolt going through, and the felt washer here. This one was a shorter bolt, this one here, which was 12 millimeters, again a 3mm diameter. There wasn't quite as the reason why I used a shorter one here was that when it goes in, because it's on this top edge, just felt it needed a bit more room before it touched some of this part of the inner part of the keyboard here. There wasn't quite that recess that I thought I had, but it still feels very secure. Again, I've tightened it up. And again, made the same kind of drill hole with the drill bit, 3 millimeters. And then put the guitar strap in with the felt washer, the washer on the inside, and then the nut over the top, tightened it all up. And that's about it, really. Let's put it back together. If you look at the end pieces, they're recessed here for the outer cover, the red cover, to go over the top. So just be a little bit careful when you put it all back together that you're doing that inside, and then also making sure that the holes on the covers here, the screw holes, when we tighten it all back together, are going to line up with the holes on the outer case. You might need to wiggle it around a little bit. Don't worry if the keyboard itself moves, because you can kind of slide that back in a minute. Just check I'm doing it in the right way. The other thing, actually, just to point out as well, there are some little sort of guide pieces here on the on this case as well that should marry up with the keyboard inside as well, which means it all should fit together. There we go. Just slides back in, and we're matched up with the holes, so we can put the screws back in. And it feels secure. My water key is still moving freely. And now let's do the other cap on the other end. Again, you've got these little recess guide pieces here, and it should go inside the red case. There we go. Looking good. Line up the holes. Just tighten them up a bit. I'm not sure how often I'll have to re-tighten the guitar straps, so I'm not going to over tighten these, but they're secure and it's not moving. And that's it, job done. The next thing to do is get a guitar strap and practice playing the Melodion in a vertical position with both hands. Anyway, I hope you found that useful. Actually, one other thing I should just say is that I was a bit concerned whether there would still be enough room in the case for when you put this back in. But as you saw at the beginning, and I'll just demonstrate now, there's plenty of room inside the case with the guitar strap pins there. The downside, I think I'm going to be using this mouthpiece, the flexible one, most often, which doesn't fit inside. It's a bit too long, and there probably isn't really enough room to force it in there. So that's the only downside, really. But this one obviously does fit. So we can put that one back in. And this one comes in a little capsule kind of case of its own anyway. Anyway, I'll try that out, and I'll practice a few pieces and maybe post a few examples of me playing it online. So thanks for watching. All the best.